Hi, and welcome to this conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Missus. The purpose is that we offer valuable tips to small business owners and sole traders to improve their online presence and hopefully communicate more effectively to reach a larger audience. The hosts today are the usual lineup with Narelle Gaddy, and Narelle is an accessibility auditor. Myself, Janine Bosper, I help people in leadership and small business to step up and stand out. Kate Smith is a graphic designer, and Kate's our expert today. And Jan Roach's business is Biz Connect Web Designs and Over 50s Health. And we're talking about follow-up. Hey, ladies, I'm looking forward to what we've got to share here. Kate, you are on the spotlight today.
Thanks, Janine. Yeah, and we're talking about follow-up this month. So I guess I just want to share a few tips that I use to follow up with leads in my business. So you often get somebody come in and they've got this amazing project and you're really keen to get into it, and then they kind of go cold, and you don't want to prod too much, but you want to remind them that you're there and that you're still keen to do the project for them. If you respond or if you write them an email saying just checking in or just following up, it's the same thing as saying, hey, do you have any money for me? So it's not the best option when following up with clients. A really good tip is to, hopefully you've got a couple of contact details for them. A casual text can be awesome, and try to think of something that will be valuable to them. So if you saw something over the weekend that you're like, oh, they might be interested in that because that's to do with their industry or what they do or what they're trying to achieve, because I know that from our initial conversation, you can send them a link or just mention it. Just mention something that makes them realize that you're thinking about them and you keep them as a priority and you want to add value to them, without making it seem like, oh, I'm just here to remind you that we might work together, which is a little bit pushy. Other things I've done, if the project's quite big and I do really want to win the project, if I notice something small in their branding or marketing that could do with improving, and it's very simple, like I've redone email signatures for people. If they have an email signature that's a bit all over the place or not really working for them, be like, oh, I got your last email and this is really simple for me, so I just did this up for you. If you'd like to use it, please feel free. Things like Facebook covers or LinkedIn covers can often be tricky for people to get right, and you'll have people and they don't quite know how to position everything, and their profile pictures actually covering some of the text in their cover. I've sometimes just recreated that, laid out a bit better so that they get a better result there, and just say, if you'd like to use this, go right ahead. I just noticed when I was on your profile, you do have to be careful not to seem presumptuous and that you're overstepping the boundaries and kind of saying, well, you did a bad job. But so read the room and know who you're talking to. If you genuinely think they'll appreciate it, go right ahead. If you think it might be going a bit far, maybe leave that one. And yeah, think of something that you can send them that might show your interest in their company and their industry, that you've got their best interests at heart. Find that link, even if you have to go looking for something like, oh, I really want to email such and such to see if they want to go ahead with that project. What kind of things would they be interested in? Do a quick search, find something that might actually be valuable to them, and just shoot it through. Say, I was just thinking about you guys, where I saw this and it made me think of you. Take a look. Yeah, that's kind of my follow-up hack. What do you ladies think?
Kate, that's one that when I'm teaching how to follow up within sales programs, that's one of the things I teach people to do.
Okay, cool.
Exactly that, is because you don't necessarily want to, as you said, it's uncomfortable going, hey, and one word that you use that, and you deleted it, is the word just. And I always recommend people don't use the term following up.
Yep.
And so everyone's going to have to listen in when I talk about my follow-up tips as well, because I'll add on to a couple of those.
Cool.
But having that, this is a really interesting topic. I thought you might be interested in it. I saw this and thought of you. Perfect. I love it.
Cool.
Kate, that's actually really handy because, yeah, there's a couple of things that I've been trying to work out how to do follow-ups on. So now that's answered my question. So thank you. I know
Awesome.
what to do now. It's been puzzling me, and it's just, yeah, because that, you know, they say, yeah, they want it and they want the product. Like I've got one that says, just email me every month, say hello. So, and she's lovely. So it's not hard. It's just, hey, how you going? Or whatever. And, you know, a bit of a chat, how's the kids? Or, you know, and it'll be, oh, do you know this person is one of the things I've been doing lately, but the couple I've been trying to, I haven't come up with anything for them. So that's given me some big help. You know, if it's someone I can introduce them to, that's easy. But it's not necessarily that with these, because they have such great networks themselves. I've got to find something outside the square.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, I think we're all part of BX networking.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could offer to shout them a breakfast if you have any vouchers, Narelle. Often as part of our network, we're gifted these
Ooh,
vouchers for a networking
yeah.
breakfast. And yeah,
And I've
maybe
got
you could.
yeah, I have a stack. That's a great idea. I'll use them up because I've just been wanting to use them. So that's a good idea.
Cool. Yeah, do
Thank
that.
you. Yeah. Great.
Anything, Jan, do you want to add to that?
Look, there were some great little hints and tips for us. Thanks, Kate. They were really good. It's all about relationships, really, following up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's about continuing the relationship.
Yeah.
So the first conversation is discovering something that they need and being able to show that you can deliver the product that they need. And then the follow-up section is that this is what I tell people all the time. Well, they haven't got back to me. Well, they're not going to. People get busy. That's not their priority. It's your priority to remind them how important it was when you had the conversation.
And people,
so the follow-up could be going back to them with some answers to questions that they've asked or further information on what you might have covered. And so they're going to think, oh, that was really great that they came back to me with all of that information. That answers my questions or whatever it might turn into. So they, I would imagine everybody that we go back to, any one of us, if we go back on that premise, we're doing them a favour because they didn't know the answer to the question at the time, or we didn't have the answer. So showing that we've taken the time to find the answer for them is great.
Yeah, and I've had people do this for me, and just a passing question I'd asked, and then I'd kind of said, oh, I know, I can look that up, don't worry, like I'll just look it up later. And then they've emailed me later and said, oh, just in case you didn't get a chance to look that up, here's the link. And I was like, thanks. That is helpful. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's such an important aspect, is that continue, and we just said it, continuing that relationship, and however you might choose to do it, because you want to stay front and center.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you don't, someone else is going to come along and they'll be where they'll make the decision on it.
Yes, because sometimes it's just a matter of timing and they weren't ready to pull the trigger at that moment. But if you're there when they need you, then when they pull the trigger, you'll get the job. And
they feel an obligation to you also when you have been checking in with them, as you've been saying, Narelle, that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like all of us, if we've been a bit connected with somebody, then someone else comes along and you think, oh, no, I better check with Kate because she originally set everything up for me.
Yeah, and it's that law of reciprocity. You do want to help people who've helped you. So, if you can help someone, you're way ahead of any competition already.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool. And as we've said, there's all of us are going to give follow-up tips over the next few videos and next few conversations. The idea is to tune in, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you don't miss any of these follow-up tips, because I know following up can be one of those things where people are very reluctant to do it and shelve it and don't get around to it. But what you're doing is you're leaving money on the table if you don't follow up. Often you've gone to a lot of trouble, and imagine, Kate, with your proposal, you've gone to a lot of time and trouble, and then nothing happens. the amount of money and time it takes to build a new relationship with a new prospect, where you could have had the business with the other one, just because you didn't follow up or didn't follow up effectively, you've missed out.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
And Janine, it could even be something as simple as when we were talking about your website, where I said, oh, you know, just put that bit of spacing in for the mobile phones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's simple. I think, yeah, that was what I thought about actually when Kate was saying, it's that all that line between, hey, I know better than you.
Mhm.
and this would be much better if you did it this way, as opposed to, yeah, there's a, I just not noticed, just, I delete the word just. I couldn't help but notice. And as you said, Kate, again, I created this. Oh, it's a shocking word. It should not be in our language. I created this and thought it would be helpful. Yeah. Getting the balance.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Kate.
Excellent.
No worries, guys. Hope it helps.
Oh, I think that's one of the best tips, is to do exactly that. Well done with that. Yeah. And if no one's got anything else to add on this particular conversation, then, well, as I said, if people are listening, they're going to have to watch the next few. Then I'll wrap it up. But remember, please subscribe to the channel. We want to get this information out to a lot of small businesses who may be struggling or feel a little bit uncomfortable, particularly with that follow-up reluctance. And maybe that one little tip will help them feel like they're assisting rather than selling, which is much better space to be in. But join us next time for our next conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Missus. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.